Yo, what's up with y'all? It's your boy Kuro in the cut, and I'm back at it with an actual video this time. For the past maybe 2 months, I've been releasing nothing but music slash lyric videos, but here I feel like I want to touch up on a topic that not a lot of people have the courage to talk about, but I'm gonna do it anyway because no one's stopping me and I'm not stopping myself. So let's get right to it. So I've had numerous conversations with my peers about not giving a fuck. At first I was like baffled and I was like, huh? Not giving a fuck? How? But there was no real answer to that question, if I'm being honest. But the answer that I was ultimately able to come to realization to is kind of like what Nike says, just do it. So over the summer, I spent most of my time by myself. And many people could be thinking, oh, you're capping. I saw you at the club this day. I saw you at a party that day. I saw you at this location, XYZ, this day, that time. Yes, I may have been doing those things 10% of my time, but usually now I tend to spend a lot of time by myself, and I am actually more than okay with that. And there are two reasons as to why that is. One, mainly my social battery is kind of an emotional roller coaster, so it can go up but it could also go down drastically, though I have no problem with it, mainly because I've learned to be present within the moment itself, as opposed to looking back in the past, but also foreseeing the possible future that is almost completely non-existent. And number two is because I have been told by a wise group of friends that surrounding yourself with a lot of energies can potentially slow you down in terms of development and growth spiritually. And this isn't to say that I'm not against hanging out with various types of people, but it's the frequency of doing such action. Because before this video, I used to hang out with various types of groups almost every single fucking week. I had almost no problem with it at the time because, I was just a college kid. I had time all over the fucking world to just do what I gotta do and still be able to achieve my goals. So I'm like, okay, this day I'll hang out with this person. That day I'll hang out with that person. This weekend I'll hang out with a whole group of friends. And it would be rinse and repeat over time. And what I started to notice, especially when it comes to that, is I didn't see too much growth in myself because I was surrounded by a lot of these energies. And it's not to say they're like low vibrational people to be around. Some of them were, but also they just naturally removed themselves from my life. No shade, no tea. But at the end of the day, it's only up from there. So that's all it is. All love, but we all gotta grow in our own separate ways. And that's completely okay, if I'm being for real. But over time, I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna hang with nobody. Especially on the fact that I was burnt out from college and from all these 4 years just keeping myself in that cycle, and I just felt like I didn't want to do anything. And because I just sat and did nothing at all, took a little break, took a little hiatus from making music, keyword making music, I had shit in the vault that I was able to drop. Gotta play it smart, gotta play your cards right. But anyway, I just like didn't feel like texting nobody during that summer period. I didn't feel like texting anybody about to hang out. I didn't hit up half of my friends, and I just noticed my phone completely going dry. Not to say it's a bad thing, I'm just saying from what it is. So from there, I just slowly started to like get to know myself a little bit more and actually hone in on me. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, if I'm going to hang out with these people, well, not these people, if I'm going to hang out with just people in general, I'm going to do it in a way where both parties feel satisfied. I'm going to do it in a way where I don't have to constantly use up all my social battery, give out almost all my energy only for me to have to use it the next fucking day, and also give myself time to just breathe, be present, be within myself, and hone in on my craft most importantly. But also the main point that I'm making is because I just honed in with myself, I was able to be okay with being alone as opposed to being lonely. Because truth be told, people only feel lonely because they are not comfortable not being around people like 24/7. And I was that way before, trust. And I want to talk because I never really had a lot of friends, but I had a lot of people that I was able to hit up no fucking problem, or people hit me up no problem. And they're like, oh, let's chill this day, let's chill that day, let's chill this day. I was like, bet. I was basically giving them free will to just let them like fill up my availability. No shade, no tea. If you feel called out, I don't know what to tell you. I guess the shoe fits where it fits, but you know, I learned to just reserve my availability. Even if I don't seem busy, I make myself busy. Also, what the fuck? This notification sound be blowing my shit. Let me just turn on Do Not Disturb real quick and bet. Anyway, I was at the point where I need most of that availability for me. I need most of that availability for me. For me time. Ugh. I kind of repeated myself, but that's okay. At the end of the day, we live, we learn, we grow. There you go. End of story, but horrible angle, but I don't give a fuck. Sidetracking. Let's get back into it. But every time I at least do something with people that I consider friends, it's something that I'm able to take home with me and like reflect, not only reflect, but also gain a new experience out of it, as opposed to just doing the same shit over and over and over and over and over again. At one point it was like, okay, cool, you're chilling with the homies, no problem, chilling, having fun, vibing out, doing whatever. But over time it just becomes more stale when you could like do a bunch of other shit to better yourself. Like even the most minuscule of examples, like reading a book, journaling, game into yourself, picking up a new skill, picking up a new hobby, taking a walk alone, taking yourself out on a date, relaxing, resting, meditating. I can name a bunch, but I don't want to go on and on about it. But the moral of the story here is like, if you really want to grow, eliminate as much chaos as you can, and don't give everybody your availability, or at least don't use your availability for other people. I mean, you could use a good portion of your availability to other people, but I was at a point before where I was just using my availability for everybody, almost all of my availability, to the point where I didn't spend enough time with myself. I didn't spend enough time just like myself in the moment, feeling present, feeling just me with nothing else around. And I was at a point where, if I didn't hang with like a person for like 48 hours, I was feeling lonely and I was feeling like shit. But it's really not that deep. Sometimes people need space. Sometimes people need time to recover from using all of their social battery. There'll be occasional weekends where I just use up my entire social battery, and now I'm at a point where it's like, if I use that shit up, I'm like, I gotta bounce. I got shit to do. And I'm only half lying, by the way. I'm not completely lying, but also in certain instances it's okay to lie, but don't make it obvious that you're lying. You feel me? But at the end, it is only up to you with what you do with your time, and it is up to you on whether you want to take yourself a step further or remain in the same stagnant position as you once were before. And also, a little side note too, let people have that pre-existing image of you, because it only tells you who you would want to surround yourself with in the near future, or even if no one at all. Because I keep getting fucking shoved down my throat, people are temporary, but also at the end of the day, that is kind of the truth. You could have long-term friendships, but you ultimately, at the end of the day, die somewhat alone. So it's like, would you rather die knowing that you've did a lot for yourself in life, or would you rather die not being able to fill up your bucket list, all because at least someone to some degree held you back in some way, shape, or form? It doesn't have to be direct, but you know. To close out this conversation, to anybody who's watching, I just want to tell you this. If you ever are feeling like you're stagnant and you're not growing, take the time to reflect and just think and hone in on who you are surrounding yourself with. Really study motherfuckers like you're completing a college course, looking over notes, picking up on the small little details and their behavior patterns, and see who's really holding you back. That's my only advice I could give you. And then from there, you could just flourish and elevate, or you could stay in the same position as them. Your choice, your time, your life. But thank you for watching. This was a nice little video, something different for once, and stay tuned for more. Most importantly, I'm still doing the music, and by that time my EP has released, so if you want to check it out, I will put that in the link at the description, and it's on all platforms. I got this shit in Dolby Atmos too. Just picked up the skill of Dolby Atmos mixing. Yay! But also, if you really wanted too as well. If you're an artist in the chat and you don't know how to mix well, hit me up on DMs. I could give you a remote mix for like at maximum $100 for now. I can't really be charging $200+ for a mix unless I got a placement with like Coil Array or some shit. But I could do a little remote mix for you. Send me the stems and I got you. And I can make you a beat too. $50 for exclusive, depending on the vibe that you're going for. But nonetheless, see y'all later.